You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
12 past 2 Super Rugby final tonight, 5 past 7 live commentary on Gold Sport and iHeartRadio. Will it be the Chiefs for the first time since 2013?
Chiefs drive for the line. They're a metre short. All the big boys are piling in. Advantage Chiefs. Ball goes wide. Try! Try Chiefs! Retallick the big rig.
Or will it be the Crusaders for the 7th straight season?
Crusaders are away again. Whainganuku in midfield, up over the 22, slips out of another, he'll score!
Let's bring in the first ever Crusaders centurion, the first Crusader to captain the All Blacks, 81 Test halfback, 5-time Super Rugby champion, inaugural inductee into the Crusaders Hall of Fame, and Sky Sport commentator Justin Marshall. How are you, Marshy?
Hey, I'm good, mate. Thanks very much for that intro. I feel positively buoyed by that. So it's nice to be talking to you again, mate.
Good to be talking to you too, Marshy. It's just so difficult to separate these two sides. What sort of things might make the difference in such a closely contested final?
Oh, look, I think finals are all about taking your opportunities. And, you know, they come up not as regularly as what they do in round-robin games because there's so much at stake. Everybody's on edge. There's a lot of tension. And I think the team that basically, when the opportunities present themselves, grab them because they are so limited. That's usually the side that comes out on top.
So when you look back at the regular season and you say, OK, the Chiefs have beaten the Crusaders twice this regular season, does that matter at all in the grand final?
I think it helps the Chiefs. Why does it help the Chiefs? Because simply the Crusaders have that formidable history, don't they? That they are so good at finals. When they turn up, you know, the opposition are very aware that they know how to win finals. They know that they can get the job done. So you need in your own mindset and for your own motivation and confidence that you can topple them. And the Chiefs have done that twice this year. So for them, it puts them in a good place to be able to psychologically, yes, know that the Crusaders are good at finals, but in two big pressure games this year, they managed to get the result over them.
If we look back at the last couple of weeks of the Chiefs games in knockout rugby, they've beaten the Reds 29-20, the Brumbies 19 points to 6. Given the fantastic regular season they had, have they plateaued a little bit, Marshy, or not?
Yeah, very good question. And I guess that's probably what a lot of people are wondering, whereas the Crusaders have done the opposite, haven't they? They absolutely put the Endure to the sword, and then their demolition job that they did on the Blues, it just has basically catapulted them into a new stratosphere, and everybody's going, oh my goodness, now they are not only going to be finalists, but they look like they might be winning the final again, whereas 6 weeks ago, that certainly wasn't being talked about. All anyone could talk about was the Chiefs. But, you know, that's the problem. When you're the team to beat, when you're sitting at the top of the pedestal and you're expected to get to the final, you're expected to win because you qualify first and you play the lower graded teams, then there's no pressure on those lower graded teams. They come with all sorts of ambition and they just play hard and play tough because they've got nothing to lose. And you've got all of that pressure. I think probably the good thing for the Chiefs is that pressure is slightly alleviated when you've got a superpower team like the Crusaders coming into town.
Indeed. And you talk about a superpower team, and that win over the Blues last week, just a decimation of the Blues. So I'm sure went to Christchurch thinking, you know what, we've got a chance here. We've been okay this season, and it's a big game. What did you make of the Crusaders and their win over the Blues last weekend?
Quite categorically, in my mind, that's one of the greatest Crusaders performances I've ever seen. And I don't say that with easy words, because there's been some pretty good performances in the past. But, you know, with the injuries that they had, but still they put out a formidable side. But that was a very good Blues side that they were up against. But their execution, their tempo, their energy, their tackle efficiency was 94%. That they just did everything so methodically well that, you know, any team to a degree that came up against them on a day like that would have been shell-shocked and then really struggled to respond. The Blues, given all their experience and all of the knowledge and All Blacks that they had in their side, even with all of that, that goes to show that they couldn't respond how good the Crusaders were on the night. It was so impressive.
Indeed it was. You talked about the Chiefs, having a chance to win a title. First time since 2013. No one in this Chiefs side, I don't think, knows what it's like to lift a trophy. The Crusaders, on the other hand, have won the last 6. How much of a factor is that, Marshy, knowing how to win a Super Rugby title?
It means a lot. It really does, because, you know what's required. And there's no doubt that the Crusaders have that huge advantage where they've got such a big part of their side that have been to finals before. Their playmakers, Mitchell Drummond and Richie Mo'unga, for example, have been in this environment before. Then you've got the experience of Whitelock and Barrett and Cohen, Cody Taylor, Jack Goodyear in the back line. Plenty of players that know how to win rugby games when everything is on the line. It's a massive advantage for them to have. Look, the Chiefs don't have that, but what they do have then, again, I believe, is that ability to go out there and try and grab the game by the scruff of the neck, because you don't want to go toe-to-toe with that mental challenge against the Crusaders and get into a real nuggety fight that goes down into the 80th minute, because that's what they want. They want to bring you into the grind, and they know when it comes into the micro minutes of the game that they do have that touch, that ability to win finals. So the Chiefs, they've got to take all of that pressure off themselves and just go out there and express themselves, which is not easy to do, but I feel that's the only way they can win this game.
All right. And what sort of game are we in for here, Justin? Are we looking at a 32-28, or are we a 16-12? What are we looking at here? Because there's attacking weaponry in both sides for sure, but will we see it?
Bloody hell, mate. I don't know if you should ask me, because both games last week, I didn't play out anywhere near the way I thought they would be. I didn't expect a blowout on Friday, and I certainly didn't expect it to be close on Saturday. Look, finals historically aren't huge scoring games, but I just feel if the weather is right, I don't see the Crusaders going into their shell for this one. I don't think they want to take it into a grind, not against that tight 5 and forward pack of the Chiefs. I think they want to play expansive rugby. I feel that if they enter into a game like that, the Chiefs will quite like that as well, because they've been quite insular the last 2 games. So I think we'll see tries, mate. I really do. We'll see an entertaining game. But, man, I don't see it being won by half-time, probably not even the 60th minute. The last quarter is where the men will be separated from the boys. Yeah,
that's all we can ask for in a final. Just before you go, what did you make of the halfback selection for the All Blacks for the Rugby Championship? Aaron Smith, Finlay Christie, Cam Roigard.
Yeah, I could have rolled the dice and probably would have rolled it different than Ian Foster for the middle player. That was the debate between Finlay Christie and Brad Weber. I probably would have gone for Brad Weber, but that's not with any means any disrespect to Finlay Christie and the skill set he brings. He's proven to be a good All Black in the time that he's had in the jersey. There's an argument there either way. My head's not on the chopping block, so it's Ian Foster that needed to make that choice there. I would have gone for Weber, but I really like the choice of Roigard. I feel that he's the foil that the All Blacks have been missing. He's got a slightly different game than Smith, Finlay Christie and Brad Weber. He challenges defenders more. He's a bit more physical, and I certainly feel that he's earned his place, deserves it, and I think he gives us something that the rest of the world hasn't seen in that spot for a while, something that we've been missing.
Yeah, exciting times ahead. Thanks as always for giving us your time and your expertise, Marcia. Really appreciate it.
Mate, any time with that intro, I'll come back every week if you like. Beautiful.
Good on you, mate. Well, we'll get you back on the show at some stage soon. Justin Marshall there, Crusaders legend, Sky Sport commentator, and one of the inaugural inductees into their Hall of Fame recently, along with Wayne Smith and Todd Blackadder.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.